This commercial is brought to you by Evelyn and Juwan Scott, based on flower structure. Today we will be explaining how an insect pollinates on a flower and flower organelles and their functions. The peduncle is the flower stalk which holds the flower. The receptacle of the flower is the part of the peduncle. It is also the base of the flower. The sepal is above the receptacle and its the function is to protect the flower. The petals are located in and above the sepal and are often served to attract pollinators to the flower because of its bright colors. The filament is the element that holds the anther. The anther is positioned to rub pollen onto bees or any insects, and it contains nectar. The anther and filament makes up the stamen, and it is also the male part of the flower. The stigma's function is to catch pollen. They are feathered. The style's function is to hold the stigma, and that is also where part of the fertilization takes place. The ovary is the center which contains the ovule. The ovule contains the egg and is also the most important part of the female part of the flower. The carpel is made of the stigma, style, ovary, and ovule. As the bee travels to find nectar, he makes contact with the anther to get his food. As he eats the nectar, pollen grain sticks to the bee's feathery body. The bee then travels again to another flower to find more nectar. As the bee travels through the second flower, he makes contact with the female part of the flower, which is the stigma. He deposits the pollen grain. Then the pollen grain reproduces the pollen tube. The pollen grain then goes down the tube and connects with the ovule. That is when fertilization occurs. This is the review of flower structure. The peduncle, receptacle, sepal holds the flower. Anther and filament makes up the stamen. The petal attracts the insects. The stigma, style, ovary, ovule makes up the carpel. The fertilization, the petal, stamen, and sepals fall off. The ovule turns into a seed. The fertilized egg inside develops into an embryo plant. Water leaves the seeds, it dehydrates and becomes a dormant because metabolic reaction stops. The ovary develops to become a fruit.